I sense boredom in you, Jen. A blue bunny loaded sundae with tons of toppings is what you seek. Jen has reached funlightenment. Happening now.
And the family now confirming that the human remains that were found at a West Side mobile home are indeed those of baby James Chairez. What's next in the investigation now? Today, Governor Greg Abbott signed into law one of the nation's strictest laws on abortion. The new limits on procedures and the legal challenges the law could face. Next.
Sure, not a whole lot of rain in San Antonio today, but other parts of South Texas got pounded. We'll do a quick rundown of how much rain has fallen and where, and of course, take a look at our rain chances ahead. Coming up in a few minutes.
Now that travel is picking up, more visitors are needing wheels to get around. Coming up, we'll show you how some folks are meeting a need and making a buck.
And the governor adding to the confusion over mask guidelines, why his executive order has set off a firestorm among city elected officials and the Teachers Association. The News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, it is news his relatives had been fearing. 4 months of searching for baby James Chairez coming to a sad ending. Today, the San Antonio Police Department confirming human remains were of the toddler. Those remains found near the trailer where he and his mother lived.
Our Daphne Gray has been following a very emotional story from the very beginning. She joins us now live outside the family's home. So, Daphne, certainly not the ending that anyone was hoping for.
Yes, Ursula, that is correct. James's aunt, Marisol Gomez, is just devastated and heartbroken by this reality. She says since the remains were found, she had a gut feeling that they belonged to James, but then she also had hope that there was a possibility that wasn't the case. Sadly, in an emotional Facebook video she posted today, she confirmed those were, in fact, the remains of James. She reported him missing February 22nd, but on several occasions, Gomez said her concern increased because she had not seen James since Thanksgiving of last year, but was in constant communication with his mother, 20-year-old Delaney Chairez. After their disappearance, a statewide search was initiated for James and Chairez. She was later found and arrested in March, initially for abandoning or endangering a child, a charge that was later changed to just tampering with evidence. An early search of Chairez's trailer, detectives found blood on a crib sheet, and after another search was conducted, James's remains were discovered. Gomez says she doesn't feel like this is closure. She says that she's just now waiting for the next step in what seems like an ongoing nightmare.
I don't know how hurt I am. I'm broken. I'm so broken, and I hate it. I hate the feeling that I'm feeling right now. He was a good baby. He was a happy baby, and I don't understand it. I will never understand how she could do that.
The family is still working closely with San Antonio police. At this time, the medical examiner is still investigating the cause and time of death for James. Now, it is also unclear if more pending charges is coming against Chairez. Of course, this is just an ongoing investigation. As soon as those details becomes available, we'll be sure to keep you guys updated online at KSAT.com. For now, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daphne. We have learned the name of a motorcyclist killed in a crash near downtown last night. The Bexar County Medical Examiner identifying him as 49-year-old Kirk A. Madariaga. San Antonio police say he crashed around 10:30 last night along I-35 near Martin Street. Right at the upper and lower level split, witnesses told investigators it appeared Madariaga made a last-minute decision to take the upper level and crashed into the back of a Nissan Murano. He was thrown from his motorcycle. He was not wearing a helmet or any protective gear. He died at the hospital.
An arrest has been made in a hit-and-run case involving a jogger, 28-year-old Joel Angel Zaragoza, arrested last night on a charge of failure to stop and render aid. He's accused of fatally hitting Lisa Rosenstein with his car back on May 2nd and then leaving the scene. It happened on the Loop 1604 access road between La Calzama and Military Highway. San Antonio police say that they found parts of the car at Zaragoza's Ford, at the scene. They also had surveillance of his vehicle driving away from the crash. They received a tip about Zaragoza's involvement yesterday and later found the car. It had a repaired headlight, mirror, and damage to the right fender. When Zaragoza was questioned, he claimed the damage was from hitting a deer, but said he didn't know when or where he hit it. The bond set at $50,000. Now that Texas is one of the nation's most restrictive abortion laws, legal challenges are now expected that could be heading to the highest court in the land.
As supporters see victory for the unborn, opponents say banning abortions after 6 weeks is before most women even know they're pregnant.
Jesse DeGollado spoke to the former dean of the St. Mary's School of Law about what will probably be a legal challenge ahead.
Now, we're about to make it law.
With the stroke of a pen, Governor Greg Abbott radically changed the state's longstanding abortion statute. The former dean of the St. Mary's Law School says Texas had set viability outside the womb at 20 to 22 weeks. But now,
Texas statute backs it all the way up to the presence of a heartbeat, which may occur as early as about 6 weeks, and the woman may not even be aware of it.
Legal challenges that he says could wind up before the Supreme Court next year when it hears a Mississippi case that sets viability at 15 weeks. Even so, he says he doubts a conservative high court would actually overturn the landmark Roe v. Wade that legalized abortion.
The Supreme Court rarely directly overturns precedent. It happens occasionally.
But if it is, he says the high court wouldn't declare abortion illegal. Instead, that would be up to individual states.
Allowing the voters to decide whether abortion would be legal or not legal in the state, kind of like the death penalty.
Based on his more than 40 years of experience, Pyatt says he believes Roe v. Wade will remain the law of the land.
But the states will be given more rights in terms of restriction.
Jesse DeGollado, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, VIA transit bus drivers protesting a wage increase with VIA. The local chapter of the Amalgamated Transit Union held a protest today. We spoke with Juan Amaya, who tells us drivers are requesting a 5% wage increase, and they deserve it now more than ever.
Our people, since the pandemic started, they were out there in the front lines, picking up people. We never stopped. We never stopped the service to the community.
We reached out to VIA for comment. They say while there is no formal contract with the local union, the discussion is ongoing. They also tell us VIA operators received a pay increase in August 2020. A scheduled increase for salaried employees was not implemented. Taking a look at the COVID-19 numbers in Bexar County, Metro Health reporting 148 new infections and 5 new deaths.
164 COVID positive patients are still hospitalized. 52 are in the ICU and 25 are on ventilators. Meantime, a possible turning point in the nation for the COVID-19 pandemic.
16 states reported no COVID deaths on Monday. Officials say rates of new cases and hospitalizations are at their lowest since the pandemic started. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest from Los Angeles.
The CDC director defending the new mask guidelines that have created confusion across the country, saying the decision to deem it safe for fully vaccinated people to drop their masks in most places was based solely on science, and explaining why mask rules are so varied across the country.
We have really encouraged that the policies of mask wearing be locally driven, and the reason for that is because every community, every county has different rates of disease and different rates of vaccination.
Governors sharing their concerns with the White House over those new guidelines, with medical experts pointing out that more than 60% of Americans are still not fully vaccinated, including children.
What I hope, even in states where governments are saying there's no longer a mandate, people recognize that to keep children safe, you need to continue to wear masks indoors.
But in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott sparking controversy, issuing an executive order banning mask mandates for government properties across the state, including public schools. Starting May 21st, any official in the state who tries to require masks, even for unvaccinated residents, could face a $1,000 fine. Public schools have until June 4th to end their mask mandates.
The message that you're sending to our educators is that we don't care about protecting your life.
Houston's mayor pushing back, tweeting, "If you are a city employee and you have not been fully vaccinated, you must wear your mask."
You don't run the city of Houston and the city employees in the city facilities. The mayor does.
Part of the concern is for those who are immunocompromised, with recent studies showing the vaccine may not be as effective for them.
I don't look like I had a kidney transplant, but I'm high risk. You still need to act like the person standing next to you has something, that you don't know about.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Authorities in southern Louisiana now investigating 4 weather-related deaths after the state was hit with heavy rains at the beginning of the week. Meanwhile, here in Texas, continued rainfall making flooding a big concern in places. Daryl Forges is following developments.
At least 4 storm-related deaths are being investigated after southern Louisiana was hit with nearly record rain Monday and Tuesday. The heavy onslaught of rain caused flash flooding in many areas and prompted hundreds of water rescues.
I didn't think it was going to flood like this. Like the sidewalks, yeah, they flooded like foot-wise, but I didn't think it was going to get this bad. 2 of the deceased were found in submerged vehicles. At least 1 more was on an oxygen machine that lost power. The East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office says that death is being investigated as weather-related. And 1 person was in a vehicle that plunged into a canal. But as the rain begins to ease up in Louisiana, millions of Texans in the southeastern part of the state are under a flood watch Wednesday after 3 to 5 inches of rain fell overnight Tuesday. The storm is expected to last in some areas through Monday, bringing with it life-threatening flash flooding and tornado watches. In the western part of the state, high winds were responsible for ripping the roof of a hotel Tuesday and flipped over a trailer that a couple was sleeping in.
The trailer went up in the air while they were asleep, and then it flipped over to the other slot.
Luckily, they only suffered minor injuries.
The aunt is getting a CT scan, and her husband he just got a gash to the nose, but it's all right.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
All right, today we topped out at 73 degrees. That's our current reading out there. And overall, unseasonably cool. This says 67, but we have bumped up just recently with a little bit of sunshine out there. So we'll get the latest one coming up next hour at 6 o'clock. Taking a look at the rainfall, we didn't get so much west of town. It was mainly south and east of San Antonio. Even Universal City picked up a little bit. Lavernia, about 0.2 of an inch. Once you get to Seguin, 2 inches, and even higher amounts farther to the south and east of town. That's where we really had the bullseye, and we're going to take a look at that and some of those details coming up momentarily. Temperatures, though, there you go, 73 at the airport in town now. Port SA 75. Canyon Lake at 69. Hondo right now at 73 degrees. This evening, quiet. The rain has come to an end for now. We'll actually see some clearing out there. Comfortable temperatures in the 60s and not much of a breeze. We got an update from SAWS. Steve, we're going to talk about watering restrictions coming up in a few minutes and give you a rundown of those rainfall totals.
All right, see you then. Thank you, Adam. Do you own a Peloton? The company rolling out a software update called Tread Lock, which forces treadmill owners to lock them when not in use. It also requires users to enter a 4-digit code before the treadmill can be used. The tread will lock automatically after 45 seconds of inactivity outside of class. The fix comes after Peloton recalled 125,000 treadmills following a child's death. Peloton's still allowing owners to return the treadmill if they choose to. Do you have a spare car you'd like to rent out and make some extra cash? Up next, we're talking peer-to-peer car rentals.
They're now increasingly popular, and it's even one San Antonio woman's new side business. How it works and how you can cash in over the weekend.
New at 5, the rental car crunch. If you're traveling this summer, experts suggest you book rental cars as soon as you can because in some places there is a shortage.
But there is an alternative that's seeing a boost this year. As 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris reports, enterprising people are listing their personal vehicles for rent.
After flying from Japan to SA, Mike Fleming's family thought they'd grab a rental car. So far, no luck.
Yeah, no luck at the moment. So.
What are they telling her?
Well, they were just all completely booked out.
Depending on your location and dates, demand for rental cars is racing, but some inventories are running on fumes. Last year, many companies had to slash their idle fleets, and now with a chip shortage, they're challenged to buy new cars fast enough. With travel picking up, visitors are needing wheels to get around, so some folks have found a way to meet a need and make a buck.
I know the struggle, we know it. So we just wanted to help people out.
So Fabiola Brooks and her husband listed their 2017 Nissan Versa for rent.
As soon as we posted the same days, we got a booking right away.
They listed on Turo, one peer-to-peer car rental business. Think of it as an Airbnb, but for cars. Need a car in San Diego this week? We searched Turo's website and found a Hyundai for $37 a day, even a Maserati for $161 a day. For travelers, car-sharing sites like Turo, Avail, and GetAround offer potential savings and more options. For Fabiola, she sets her price, Turo gets a cut, and she has a side gig making extra cash.
For the weekend, about between 180 and 200.
As for the Fleming family, after standing in a few lines,
we ended up with an SUV.
They left happy and with wheels ready to roll. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Live cam out there looking at the Alamo and all the green grass.
A lot of lawn mowing is going to be going on for the next couple of days, I imagine.
Oh, it is. And actually, you'll have to squeeze it in around a few showers here and there because we'll have some more to come. And I almost feel like we need a drum roll for this announcement. Okay, I heard from Saws today via Twitter. They tagged me in their post. Saws ends. Stage 1 and Stage 2 watering restrictions tomorrow. Year-round rules begin on Thursday. So that's some good news. We put a big dent in our drought and really filled up the aquifer. And we have some more rain chances ahead as well. So let's talk about it. All that heavy rainfall that was south of San Antonio today, just oh so close, but so far away we really didn't even get much of a drop here officially at the airport, 1/100th of an inch. That was it. But other parts of South Texas got pounded earlier, and now that's all coming to an end, moving out. What's left of it is really wrapping up. And look at the clouds. We actually have a little bit of clearing out there. That's why we went from the 60s into the low 70s pretty quickly. I love to see colors on this map, especially when we're drought stricken. Take a look at the rainfall since Saturday. Okay, this is several days, but a lot of this came yesterday and today for the locations south and east of San Antonio. Whereas Fair Oaks Ranch, 1.77, Bulverde nearly 2 inches since Saturday, Seguin about 2 inches. Look at this. Diamond Half Ranch, south of Seguin, 6.5 inches. Moulton, which is in northwestern Lavaca County, 7.65. Edna, 9.78. Victoria, 8 inches of rainfall. And very drought-stricken LaSalle, McMullen counties, we're talking over 5 inches of rain. Even Choke Canyon picked up 6 inches, Poteet a little over an inch. So obviously a wide range of accumulations out there, which is common with rainfall around here. But we really saw some drought-busting rain in parts of South Texas. And we had a lot of that last night, especially early this morning, south and east of town. Still the driving force is this upper level swirl over the panhandle of Texas. That's why you see a lot of activity elsewhere as well, even stretching into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. They've had too much rain. They've had too much of a good thing over that way. But this system's going to linger around for several more days. I think it's going to lose some of its potency, but we still have some rain chances. I think tomorrow we'll see a break in the action. So a break from now through the day tomorrow. Friday, 30% chance, so a few pop-up hit or miss stray showers and thunderstorms. Right now, not expecting anything severe. This weekend, we bump it up into the 50% range, so about half of South Texas should get hit at some point Saturday and Sunday. That doesn't mean an all-day event. We're just thinking clouds, a few areas of light rain, and then some pockets of heavier downpours that will be scattered across the South Texas periodically. And then those rain chances start to taper off as we get into next week. But we still think we're in this active pattern and we'll have some more opportunities. But you'll have opportunities to get outside as well in between those showers. Definitely mow the grass, have swim practice, whatever it is, you'll be all right too. Temperatures across the state, 70s for the most part. We obviously have some exceptions. Carrizo Springs, a little bit of sunshine at 81, 72 Kerrville and New Braunfels, and Pleasanton now at 76 degrees. So this evening, some clearing out there. Temperatures falling through the 60s, so very comfortable. Not much of a breeze, not overly humid either. Tomorrow we'll start the day at 62, make it up to 82 for the high temperature. With a light and variable wind. It's going to be shifting around and very gentle in nature. High temperatures really not all that hot, relative to what we can see this time of year. We're looking at mid 80s at the warmest, and that's going to be coming by next week. So we're not looking at a big warm up, just more scattered rain opportunities.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. And now we have something special in sports.
Yeah, Greg Simmons live at Tejas Rodeo. He's not riding a bull, But he is going to talk to a Jimbo.
No. Yes, I am. And that's the head coach of the Fighting Texas Aggies. After the season they had, should have a packed house tonight for the A&M Club's Coaches Night. When we come back, a preview of that. Plus, the Spurs in a do-or-die matchup in a playing game in Memphis. Coming up.
At the end of the day, we just got to go out there and execute. I feel like we up for the challenge and we're ready to go.
Keldon Johnson's feelings before the Spurs face the Grizzlies in Memphis tonight in a winner-go-home play-in game in big board sports. But first. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to Tejas Rodeo for the San Antonio A&M Club's annual Coaches Night. That's where Jimbo Fisher is coming in from College Station to address the Aggie faithful after the most successful football season since 1939. Our San Antonio Spurs will tip off the NBA's play-in tournament tonight when they face the Grizzlies in Memphis. This is a first due to the COVID-shortening 72-game schedule to give more teams a shot at making the playoffs to begin on Saturday. In order to have a shot at the postseason, the Spurs need to win tonight and again on Friday. For Rudy Gay, could be playing in his final game as a Spurs since his contract is up after this season. Described the way the team has played down the stretch as desperate.
It had to be like that, this past month hasn't, obviously you can say a lot of reasons for why we played the way we do, but, we haven't been playing as well as we probably could. That's obvious. So, we're at a point right now where we are desperate.
Besides Rudy Gay, this could also be the last game for head coach Greg Popovich, who's coaching at the age of 72. That speculation always comes up at this time of the year. Before tonight's tip-off at shoot-around, Keldon Johnson was asked if he's seen any indication from Pop.
I can't really read his mind, but I only thing I can say is he's locked in on this season, and he's not ready for it to end yet.
Another challenge for this Spurs tonight team is Memphis. The Grizzlies are allowing more fans to attend the playing game from 20 to 40% capacity, or about 7,000 fans. What does Jaren Jackson Jr., the son of the former Spurs champion, think about that?
I'm so excited to have him back. We're getting closer and closer to just being able to open everything up. So, this is just another step in the right direction.
All right, here are the matchups tonight. The Spurs and Grizzlies will open it up at 6:30, and the winner of that game will play the loser of Golden State and the Lakers. They're being played later tonight at 9 o'clock. Live from the Aggies Coaches Night, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, Greg, thank you.
Enjoy. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow, pretty quiet day. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. Not much of a breeze out there. It's going to be comfortable. Temperatures most of the day in the 70s, but in the afternoon we'll briefly make it into the lower 80s. We look at Friday, 83 degrees, a few isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Then we get into the weekend, and we have some better chances into the weekend. Looks like we'll add to some of our rainfall totals, but we're not expecting a continuous all-weekend rain. Cloudy, sure, but then some hit or miss scattered showers and brief light thunderstorms developing periodically through the weekend.
Thank you so much, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.